Here's an interesting thing. We were kind of talking about this earlier. Let's say you manage to have a rental property, and out of that rental property, you get 30 grand a year. And let's just say that the property's owned free and clear. I wouldn't recommend that, but let's just argue that it is. And this is the cash flow, or actually not cash flow, it's the income. Anybody here got a calculator? Huh? Yeah, just somebody with a calculator. I want to show you the power of what this is all about. I was talking to Todd and a couple of guys before we started today. You know, if you've got $1 million somewhere, then for most people that's going to be in a 401k. I always ask them, how much of that $1 million is yours? And what do you think they say? Yeah. Well, what's the truth? If they're in a 35% tax bracket, $650,000 is theirs. And they'll be in a 35% tax bracket with that kind of a balance. So this is what's really there, is because $350 is going right to the IRS. Now, in my business, we watch things closely called withdrawal rates. And you guys probably have all heard of the thing called the 4% rule. That was hatched in 1994 by a guy named William Bengen out in Washington. He did a bunch of what are called Monte Carlo simulations and figured out if you drew out 4% of your nest egg, you probably wouldn't run out of money before you died, which would be a good thing. Well, in 2013, they discovered that the failure rate was 57% of the population who was drawing out 4% were alive and were out of money. So they had to adjust it. So they recommissioned the study and they brought the withdrawal rate down to 2.8%. And that got the failure rate to 10%, which they seem to think was okay. Why, I don't know. Would you get on an airplane that had a 90% chance of success to get to its destination? Why would you do it with your money? So then this crept up to 29. So they dropped it to 2. And they got back down to 10. And then they said 1.49 if you're going to live for maybe 40 years in retirement. So withdrawal rates are terrible. So 2% of $650,000 is 13 grand. You've got $1 million on a statement in your file cabinet to which you got to pay taxes to get your hands on the difference, to then pull off 2% and have a $13,000 a year income. What's the income for the poverty level? More than that, but you're a millionaire. So who can tell me, take $30,000 and divide it by 0.02 and tell me what the number is.
1.5 million.
How much?
1.5.
So 1.5 million times 2% would be 30. That's right. Okay? So here's what you got to realize. If you got a rental property or some instrument that's paying you 30 grand, it's the same as though you had saved $1.5 million and you just didn't. That's the power of this stuff. That's one rental property, or maybe two. So it's as though you set aside $1.5 million at 2% to get to 30, but you don't. You just got the house. This is why reverse mortgages are becoming so much more popular. Even though those, for some reason, have a bad connotation. You're a senior citizen living in a house and you can pull 30 grand out. It's as though you'd saved $1.5 million, but you didn't. But you got the result as though you did. And it's tax-free because it's mortgage money. Now, take my friend who's got several thousand units. It's as though he saved $100 million or whatever. It's a big deal. Kiyosaki, you can't save your way to retirement, but you can do that. A reverse mortgage is just a mortgage on a house you already own. It's not new money. It's just you turn it into an asset, an income-paying asset, and it's tax-free because it's mortgage money. All right. So that's the deal. You have two of those making 60, it's as though you saved $3 million, and on and on and on. That's how you create collateral capacity, collateral leverage.